Gusto mo na talagang makaba. Pero ang tanong, dapat ba akong magpatayo ngayon? Or maghintay muna bumaba ang presyo? Well, this question has been keeping many Filipinos awake at night. This is a question that we get asked every day by our clients, and we know how overwhelming it could be to decide when it comes to real estate. So today, we re-back with another episode of Smart Pinoy Reacts, and we use our expertise in the real estate industry to help you find the answer. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's take a look at the current market situation first. Prices of construction materials are still high in 2025. Cement, steel, and lumber are up 10 to 25% compared to pre-pandemic levels. Labor costs are increasing. Inflation affects everything, including construction services. But if these factors aren't enough to scare you away, then let's move on to the pros and cons of building your house right now. The pros of building now. No. 1. You lock in today's prices before more increases. This is true because nobody can predict what will happen in the next 6 months to 2 years. For example, the recent typhoons caused a shortage of cement, so prices of cement went up by as much as 25%. Or what if the Philippine peso continues its freefall against the US dollar? Construction materials like tiles, sanitary wares, and other imported items will surely get affected. So if you're ready to build right now, it's best to lock in the current prices before they increase further. No. 2. You stop renting and pay for someone else's investment property. Renting a home is like throwing money down the drain because you're repaying for someone else's investment property. Sure, you're living in a home, but you're not building equity or making your monthly payments go towards owning a piece of the real estate. So it's always a smarter financial decision to own your own home instead of renting. Number 3, you can start small and expand. One of the benefits of having your own home is that you can renovate and expand your home as your needs change and your family grows. Unlike renting a home where you're limited to what's available, you can customize your dream house to fit your lifestyle. Just make sure to include expansion plans during the initial design phase so that future renovations will be easier. And finally, number 4, your asset starts appreciating. Land is one of the few assets that continues to appreciate in value. It may not be as liquid as cash or stocks, but as long as you hold on to it for the long term, there's no doubt that land values will increase over time. Plus, you'll be able to enjoy the property tax savings once it's constructed. Now that we've covered the pros of building your house, now, let's talk about the cons. No. 1. You may overpay for materials. The risk of paying more for construction materials is high right now since prices are volatile and constantly changing. And since most suppliers don't offer payment terms anymore, you'll have to pay for materials up front. If prices drop after you purchase them, then you'll just be stuck holding on to materials that are worth less than what you paid for them. Number 2, you might need to cut on design or finish. Due to rising material costs, some homeowners are forced to scale back on their original plans. This could mean using cheaper materials or going with a simpler design that's more. The bottom line is, you need to be prepared to compromise on certain aspects of your dream home. Otherwise, you might end up with an incomplete house. That's not really what you wanted. Number 3, contractor availability is tight. As of recording, contractors are fully booked for projects starting in November 2023. So if you're planning to build your house this year, you need to secure your contractor ASAP. Otherwise, you'll be pushed to next year, which means you'll have to deal with higher material costs and labor rates. And finally, no. 4. A budget stretch could lead to delays. As much as possible, try to stick to your budget. Be realistic with your scope of work and factor in a contingency fund for unexpected expenses. Otherwise, delays are inevitable. And once delays happen, you'll be tempted to spend more for faster construction. Before you know it, you'll be caught in a web of increased costs and longer timelines. Which brings us to the next point. Now let's discuss the pros and cons of waiting to build your house. The pros of waiting. No. 1. You have more time to save. If you're still in the early stages of planning, then waiting might be the best option for you. While prices of construction materials are expected to increase in the short term, the good news is that they don't rise at a constant rate. Sooner or later, there will be a correction, but nobody knows when that will happen. So if you have more time to save up, then you're better off waiting. No. 2. You have more options. When it comes to real estate, patience is key. By waiting, you allow yourself more time to explore different options and find the best deal for your needs. It gives you more time to scour the internet for better suppliers, or look for properties that are being sold at a discount. No. 3. Potential promos or cost drops. Most suppliers have their own sales events throughout the year. There are also times when prices drop due to external factors like economic downturns or changes in government policies. If you're lucky, you might be able to ride on one of these waves and score big savings on your construction materials. But please take note that there's no guarantee that prices will drop, so don't hold your breath for it. And finally, no. 4. you can plan with more clarity. Building a house involves a lot of moving parts, so planning is crucial to ensure that everything runs smoothly. If you're still in the early stages of planning, it might be helpful to wait until you have a clearer idea of your needs and wants. This will help you make better decisions and avoid costly mistakes. Now that we've discussed the pros of waiting, let's talk about the cons. No. 1. Rental continues. While you're waiting for prices to drop, you'll have to continue paying rent. And as we mentioned earlier, that's like throwing money down the drain. No. 2. Prices may go even higher. The risks of price increases are high, especially if you're planning to build in the next 2 years. Nobody can predict what will happen in the short term, so there's always the chance that prices will go even higher than they are today. No. 3. You delay ownership. The longer you wait, the longer you'll have to wait to own your own home. And as we mentioned earlier, land is one of the few assets that appreciates in value, so you're missing out on potential gains by waiting. And finally, no. 4. Missed appreciation opportunity. Unlike stocks or other investments, land doesn't generate income. It only appreciates, so the longer you wait, the longer you'll have to wait to see any return on your investment. So the question now is, should you build now or wait? Here's our simple guide to help you decide. If you already have the lot and at least 70 to 80% of your budget, build now. On the other hand, if your savings are still far from your goal, then wait. But plan wisely. Don't just sit around waiting for prices to drop. Instead, use that time to plan your dream home. Look for inspiration online. Meet with suppliers and get quotes, or even visit model houses to get ideas. The more prepared you are, the better positioned you'll be to build your dream home when the time is right. To help you plan your dream house, we've created a free decision matrix and planning guide that you can download at our website. It includes a checklist of important considerations, pros and cons list, sample computation sheets, and a supplier directory to help you get started. And that's all for this episode of SmartPinoy Reacts. We hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.